Peace, love, and about a hair fish, y'all. What's good? Okay, so I'm obviously returning back for another video. This is something that's really been on my mind that I really just want to talk to you about, and I'm really freestyling at this point. You know what I'm saying? So just bear with me. But I really wanted to do this video on, or really rather, ask the question: who are you? Okay. A lot of times, it's a lot of people walking around here trying to find themselves. Okay, it's a lot of people around here that are trying to who are trying to look for themselves. Okay, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that because that's what you came here to do. But it's the methodologies that people are using that are kind of a little backwards in regards to finding themselves. Okay, so basically, who are you? And basically knowing, just really the importance of knowing your purpose. Okay, so obviously when you're coming into spirituality, okay, a lot of people misuse spirituality by looking for the outside things to give them an identity. So they're doing magic, they're doing tarot cards, they're doing other metaphysical practices to give them an identity, okay, to kind of repaint or repolish their outside world without doing any internal work. Okay, so a lot of this is what makes me upset with some people now, because dealing with the occult and magic and shit like this, I would give my life for this. But there's people out here that do this shit for fun or do it for a hobby. You know what I'm saying? I do this shit because my ancestors were deprived of doing magic. Okay, they were deprived of their original spirituality, original religion. So I feel like it's my duty and my obligation to practice this, because they didn't have the opportunity to, you know, when they came over here during the transatlantic slave trade. Okay, and that's something that really pisses me off about a lot of people who kind of get into spirituality for a social norm, when that's not what it's about. So a lot of people are doing spirituality and wearing head wraps and going vegan and buying tarot card decks, but they're finding still some dissatisfaction because they're looking for these external things to fix internal problems. And a lot of people don't know who they are. You know what I'm saying? And this contributes to them not knowing who they are. Okay, so it's very imperative that you find your purpose. I cannot stress that enough. Everybody has a purpose. Okay, no matter what somebody done told you. Okay, no matter what you think about yourself. Okay, you have to have purpose, because if you don't, you will be walking around this motherfucking aimlessly. Okay, you will be basically walking into a pit of darkness, you know what I'm saying, without having any destination. And that's okay for some time, but at a certain amount of time, you have to really buckle down and find out, hey, who am I? What do I like to do? You know what I'm saying? What do I feel like my purpose here is on this earth? You know what I'm saying? On this realm. And a lot of people have a hard time doing that for various amounts of reasons. And like I said, when you're coming into spirituality, when you're coming into a cult, it's all about the inward journey. You know what I'm saying? It's not about the type of oracle decks that you have. It's not about how many 7-day candles that you have. It's about, are you incorporating this and are you transforming yourself? And I notice in a lot of people are not. A lot of people are just buying sage just to fucking buy sage. They don't even know what it's for. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't even know, like, they're doing things because other people are doing it. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, they're still going to find some dissatisfaction because they feel like they're not going anywhere. This is not improving them on the way that they thought they would. Now it's just like, now they have an identity crisis, or now they don't feel whole as they thought that this will make them feel whole. Okay, you have to know who you are, because when other things and when other adversarial entities, whether physical or metaphysical, kind of try to attack you because they trying to see that you build in some type of light, you're really more susceptible to allowing those things penetrate your psyche because you have no definite solidarity in who you are. So if somebody call you stupid, if somebody call you ugly, if somebody tell you can't do this, naturally that might penetrate your psyche because you haven't found a solid identity. You know what I'm saying? So you're constantly absorbing from your environment, which is good to some degree. But if you're absorbing too much to the point you're just projecting, you know what I'm saying? You're not actually having no type of self-identity or just any solidarity within yourself, that's going to fuck you up. Because you're allowing other entities to determine who you are instead of defining who you are. And that's the worst thing that you can do. And a lot of people ask, what's my purpose here? What am I made to do? What was I like in my past life? When I do readings, okay, it's only to lead you to the answer to get there. Okay? The questions that y'all be asking me sometimes requires you to tap into your Akashic, requires you to tap into your subconscious. I'm not you. I can show you how I got to where I am. I can show you how I got here. But I can't tell you about you. Some of y'all be wanting people like me who genuinely want to help people into ascension and genuinely want to prove people and genuinely want to give people, have people to realize power in themselves. A lot of y'all be wanting us to spoon feed y'all. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, that comes from public school education. Because in public schools, when I was younger, I noticed that it was a cycle in public schools. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't even really learning anything. I realized that public schooling was just memorization. How good was my memory? I didn't really do any critical thinking until I took 1 or 2 classes in college. But throughout elementary school, middle school, and high school, all it was just determining how good I could regurgitate and remember information from a steady eye to the test. And that's not true learning. So a lot of y'all be thinking that's the way to learn. A lot of y'all be trying to base y'all public school learning. And like I said, I was there too, but I had to kind of get out of that and kind of realize I have to kind of do things on my own. But a lot of y'all be looking for light workers and healers and psychics and spiritualists to really just fix y'all life for y'all. And some of y'all be wanting motherfuckers to tell you what you want to hear. And a lot of people will tell you what you want to hear to get your money. You know what I'm saying? Even this is a very dangerous time now because we're in the age of information, what they want to call it, or we're in the age of Aquarius. Really, I don't give a fuck what it's called. I just know the ancestors are returning. I'm coming back to my godhood. So is other people. But a lot of y'all be wanting, you got to really be careful because a lot of people just tell you what you want to hear and then take your money. And then when you realize that problem isn't fixed, they want to keep you coming back so they keep you getting money. You know what I'm saying? So you really have to, I warn people a lot, be careful who you allow to give you readings because some people don't have your general interest at hand. Okay? And it requires your intuition to be able to identify that. Okay? Now, a lot of people ask, how do you find your purpose? And I tell you, the key factor that you want to look at to finding your purpose is analyzing how you were as a child. Okay, it might have been something that you wanted to do, an aspiration that you had that got shut down because your family probably told you that's not gonna make you no money. How you gonna do that? How you gonna borrow a car with that? Oh, that's not what I want you to be. I want you to go to law school. I want you to do this. I want you to do that. You know what I'm saying? So if you really want to find your purpose, analyze how you were as a child because as a child you were in your purest state. Okay, children are very pure. This is why the elites or the powers that be, this is why they use a lot of children in their rituals because they're basically like a clean soul. You know what I'm saying? That this is like a clean, fresh mind, a clean, fresh vessel, clean, fresh soul. You know what I'm saying? That hasn't really been tainted by its environment yet. You know what I'm saying? So children have the purest thoughts. Okay, this is why sometimes children are very imaginative. Children are see things that adults don't see, but a lot of times children get shut the fuck down because parents want to be assholes and really don't be thinking that children have a mind of their own when children really have the purest minds because they come straight directly from source. You know what I'm saying? They haven't been indoctrinated with religion. They haven't been taught that Christopher Columbus discovered America. They haven't been taught that vaccinations are good. They haven't been taught that fucking money is everything. You know what I'm saying? They haven't been taught those things yet. So children are very fresh entities, okay? So if you really want to find out what your purpose is, look at the things that you did in your childhood. Did you like to write? Did you like to paint? I know I was meant to do something like this, for example, because it was just little things I would notice as a child. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was in church, I would question a lot of things, like why are we doing this, or why are we doing that, or it's just some shit didn't feel right to me. But I had to put it to the back burner because I was gonna get popped in the mouth of my grandma. You know what I'm saying? On Sunday morning, because I was asking too many questions, or I just wasn't, abiding by how the average church person should abide by. So you really want to pay attention to the things that, or your behaviors as a child. What were you interested in that got shut down? Obviously, if it's righteous, you know what I'm saying? If you was being just a dickhead as a kid, okay. But let's be mature here. Hopefully, y'all can not take what I say out of context. But just go back to your childhood to see what you like to do. Interest that you had that got shut down, and probably that's still been burning inside of you. That's a start, okay? Like I said, all this shit comes from early childhood, early development. That's all the cult is. It's just, well, that's one of the things that they call it. It's just analyzing psychology, the mind. Analyzing yourself based on earlier conditions. Okay? So, like I said, it's really, just really important y'all know who y'all are. Nobody can define who you are but you. And I know, like I said, I know at first it can be hard, but you can't look for outside things to validate you. You have to validate yourself. And that requires a lot of self-discipline. That requires the will to want to know who you are and the will to want to deal with things that are on your subconscious mind, okay? Because I give advice and I give consultations, unofficial consultations, just do my DMs and shit all day, every day, okay? And I think people just like to hear me talk, but they don't understand how important it is to really reflect and eliminate subconscious patterns that they've been carrying on for years. People really don't grasp how important that is. Your mind is really everything. So you really have to deprogram the shit that you learned, and then you have to relearn things that you didn't learn when you were younger. So once you know who you are, once you find your purpose, because like I said, if you don't find your purpose, you're going to be walking aimlessly around this motherfucker, and you're going to allow any opposing entity to define who you are. And that's just going to decline you, keep you from where you need to be. Always be solidified in your purpose. Your purpose is just not astrology. You know what I'm saying? Astrology can give you a little. Astrology is not the end all and be all. It's an influence. At the end of the day, the soul is more powerful than a birth chart. Just the soul is kind of, in any other forms of astrology, is kind of a guideline to the soul. But at the end of the day, is it everything? No. You have to, all your answers. Oh, I'll be telling you all the time too. I'll be telling y'all all your answers that you are looking for are within yourself. Somebody commented, like, make a video about remembering what you know. Why do I have to do that? Because subconsciously you already know what you know, but you just need somebody to tell you all the time. You gotta have faith in yourself. And I know it's hard. I know it's hard. Because we deal, like I said, we deal with a lot of self-confidence issues because of our parents. I'm saying our parents didn't give us, the admiration that we needed for the little shit we did. Just a little shit. Like, hey, I think you're this, or hey, I think you're that. You know what I'm saying? Some now I'll admit, like my mother, my mother always complimented me on how well I was with being a leader and how well I was with talking to other people. And my mother always gave me that credit, like, I admire that about you. And she would tell me that I admire the fact that you can just talk to anybody. She tells me that all the time. So even with that little itty bit I knew growing up, now I'm very confident in talking to other people, and I'm very confident in articulating my ideas because my mother saw that in me. And she instilled that in me, you know what I'm saying? And even just me going out through my life, I'm like, damn, my mom was right. But some people, like I said, didn't have that. Some people didn't have that. So therefore, self-confidence leads to knowing who you are. Like I said, you don't need to somebody else to tell you you're God all the time. If you steady enough, and if you actually push your limits and see what you can do, see what you can manifest, then you'll know. And sometimes you gotta fake it till you make it. Sometimes you gotta fake confidence. Even when you fake it, you still gonna get results. You know what I'm saying? Stop looking for other people to validate y'all. I cannot stress that. I see that all the time on Instagram, Twitter. Stop looking for people to validate you. You validate you. How I knew this life shit was powerful is you can really do anything that you want to do. There is nothing controlling you. You know what I'm saying? There is a higher force, but that higher force just manifests itself on external elements and then interacts with you. That's how God manifests itself. Like I said before in my previous videos. But there is nothing watching over you. There is nothing dictating your life. There's nothing planning your life. Like, okay, I don't want him doing it. No, you are that force. So if I want to go left, I'm going to go left. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I want to go right, that's a terrible example. But y'all get what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing looking over you dictating your life. And so sometimes that's really hard for a lot of people because, like I said, we weren't taught that, you know what I'm saying, we are the captain of our ship, master of our soul. We control destiny. There is a metaphysics behind destiny. Like, you can, as a guy, you can really manipulate certain laws of physics. You can manipulate free will. You can manipulate karma. You can prevent karma from happening to you. That's how I knew this life shit was powerful. That's how I knew what being a god truly was. It's not something, and sometimes we be taking being a god egotistical. Like, yeah, you know, especially, you know, if you have a melanin contact, like, yeah, you know, we the gods. You know what I'm saying? Fuck all these such and such and fuck them and fuck the Asians, da da da. Okay, yeah, that's cool, but at the end of the day, what does that really mean? And a lot of times y'all be calling yourselves God. Brother Penny said this shit too. Y'all be calling yourselves God, but then y'all be like so concerned about what the government is doing. Y'all be so concerned about what Trump doing. Like, you're God. You are the almighty, powerful being. You are the original man on this planet. You are the original woman on this planet. So why are you so concerned about Donald Trump? Why are you so concerned about what the powers that be do? Because at the end of the day, they studying you a lot more than you should be studying them. They're looking at your next move. That's how they move. You know what I'm saying? This is where it comes with knowing who you are. Because when you know who you are, outshine shit, it don't faze you. I know who I am. So I'm not worried about the government. I'm not worried about, you know, somebody telling me I'm something that I know I'm not. I'm not worried about somebody critiquing me, you know, to my demise. Why? Because I know who I am. I know why I came here. I know why I came here. And there's nothing that can deter me from what I came here to do. I remind myself every motherfucking day of who I am. Because I refuse to get sucked into this world. And sometimes when you're on this path, this shit gets so lonely. That's why I isolate myself, and I'm slowly starting not to over isolate myself, but I isolate myself because I feel like nobody will understand me. I can't talk to the average person, especially where I am. I can't talk to the average person about metaphysics. I can't talk to the average person like at 3 o'clock in the morning. I be hearing knocks on my refrigerators because there's spirits in my room. I can't do that because motherfuckers think I'm crazy. And this is the responsibility that comes with that. Yes, I'm a God. Yes, I'm an all-powerful being. But it's a price that comes with that, isolation. Which I don't mind because it allows me to self-reflect a lot, because I am a person who deals with a lot of self-reflection, but still gets lonely. But that's okay, because I know what I came here to do. I came here to do this. I came here to help people. I came here to help you realize who you are so you can help somebody else and help them realize who they are. That's why I came. So, with that being said, like I said, this has just been something that's been on my heart. I just, like I said, been noticing like a lot of people just be down on themselves and just walking around this bitch aimlessly because they have no purpose. You really have to sit down with yourself. And that's why there's so many distractions out here. There's so many distractions on the TV, with our phones, with fucking media, with fucking everything that gets your attention to keep you away from here, to keep you away from this. And that's why a lot of people don't know who they are, because they're putting in so much energy, so much effort into the external world. And y'all really gotta be careful out here. I can't, me and the next person, no matter who you go to, I can't validate you. I can't tell you who you are. You have to have the willpower to figure out who you are and why you came. Yes, I can do readings for you. Yes, I can tell you how to get there. I can tell you how I got here. But it took a lot of isolation. It took me a lot of shedding old relationships. It took me a lot of self-discipline. It took me the will to want to get rid of old patterns that were no longer serving me, that were fucking with my relationships, that were fucking with the interactions between my parents, that were just making me the person that I knew I didn't want to be. So you have to have the willpower to want to know who you are, to want to change, to want to evolve, to want to have a purpose, to want to be God. This shit isn't given. This shit is earned, my nigga. Straight up. So I highly recommend y'all get it together. And I will help you the best way I can, but it's up to you. Only, I say this shit all the time, only you can save you. The chosen ones are the ones who choose themselves. So with that being said, I love y'all. I will leave all my information below. Contact me for natal chart readings, tarot readings, things of that nature. And I love you guys.